So picking up where we left off previously, we've been working on the left-hand side of this trig expression on the left, trying to match it to the trig expression on the right-hand side of the equal sign. We had to get a common denominator, which was a little bit more involved than what we've seen in the past, but still nothing I don't think we can do. And after getting the common denominator, we have this massive fraction minus another massive fraction. So I know you're probably looking at yourself right now thinking, Mrs. Bauer, this is totally not going in the right direction. But I'm going to try to reassure you and say that sometimes it has to get a little uglier before it starts to pretty up. So let's just keep going ahead and realize that even though it looks complicated, we should be able to start canceling things out, simplifying things. Okay, let's see if we can take this any further. So on the left-hand side, I can't really do anything with the top. Maybe just yet. Okay, but I'm going to keep it the same. In the denominator, I notice how I have a negative sign and a positive sign, so those are going to cancel. And I'm left with 1 minus sine squared. For the next fraction, again, can't really do anything with the top, perhaps just yet. And I see a similar instance where the signs are going to cancel in the bottom. So that's nice. All right, so now that we officially have a common denominator, we're going to go ahead and subtract the tops and keep the common denominator. So I'll keep the top of my first fraction, but this is where we really have to be careful. Okay, notice how we are subtracting the two fractions together. So if I am subtracting this second fraction, I really should think about how I am subtracting both numerator pieces. Okay, you have to distribute that subtraction, that minus or that negative sign through. Okay, you're subtracting everything. So I'm going to subtract cosine, and then I have to subtract a negative sine cosine. So that's actually going to change it to a plus. Okay, tricky, tricky. So there's our numerator, and we're going to keep the common denominator. Oh boy, Mrs. Bauer, this still isn't looking good. Okay, but let's keep going. Maybe some of you have already had that light bulb moment. Okay, we'll get there in a second, but we have that 1 minus sine squared. Maybe we can do something there. If we take a look at the tops, just to try to clean this up further, I have a positive cosine, and I eventually have a minus cosine, so those are actually going to go away. Convenient, convenient. And if I take a look at what I have left, I have a sine cosine plus another sine cosine. Okay, they're exactly the same term being added together, so we can say we actually have two of them. Okay, if I do something that you might be a little bit more familiar with, if I have x plus x, okay, they're exactly the same term being added together, we can write that as 2x. Okay, the same kind of thought process can work with these trig functions, okay, because they're kind of acting as variables. They have that variable theta in them. For the denominator, okay, that light bulb moment, 1 minus sine squared can be rewritten as cosine squared. Okay, so it really cleaned up or got really pretty after that simplification. Let's see if we can keep going. Okay, our ultimate goal is 2 tangent. Taking a look at what we have 1 cosine up top being divided by 2 cosines on the bottom. So you can cancel a pair of those out since everything is being multiplied. We don't really have a hidden plus or minus anywhere in there that would prevent us from canceling those items. So I have a 2 sine left up top and 1 cosine left on the bottom. Notice how we have sine over cosine, which is exactly the same as tangent. So therefore we get 2 tangent. Practice is going to make perfect for these guys. So you really have to just keep working with them, get used to them, get comfortable with them. If something doesn't work out for you, go back to the drawing board and try something else. So it's, like I said, I think before, it's really going to test your patience, but you're just going to keep going and going and going until you get there, which is a pretty good life lesson, I think. So congratulations, you made it to the end of pre-calculus / trig. I hope you guys had a great year considering the circumstances that we've been under the last few months. But congratulations, and hopefully I'll see a lot of you next year.